How you guys doing? I grew up in a pretty granola family. Yeah. And I don't know how familiar you guys are with granola packaging, but on a lot of granola packaging, it says like, made healthy and safe with ingredients you can pronounce. Here are some ingredients I can pronounce. Lead. Arsenic. Fuck it, guys, I can pronounce uranium. I don't need that in my granola book. But it's true, I did grow up in a granola family. I grew up in a granola family so much that I remember my first time eating white bread. I was at my friend's house, and his mom made us some peanut butter and jellies. Best peanut butter and jelly I ever had. I took my first bite, and I was like, dude, what is this bread? He looked at me, and he's like, this is normal bread. And I'm like, the normal bread that I have at my house has like nuts, seeds, and oats in it. And he was so shocked. He looks at his mom and goes, Mom, Keaton doesn't even eat bread. He just eats nuts, oats, and seeds. And I was like, that is not what I said. And so I told his mom, I was like, listen, this was the best sandwich I ever had. Can I have another slice? And she was like, yeah, I'll make you another sandwich. And I was like, no, I just take the bread. And she was like, really? And she hands me just a slice of plain white bread. And I eat it like I've never had bread before. Guys, I look her dead in the eye, and I'm like, this is the best shit I've ever had. She gives me the whole bag! She gives me the whole bag. Like, she probably thought, like, my parents weren't feeding me, you know? She probably looked at, like, the skinniest little boy she could see. You're like, I love your plain white bread! And she's probably like, he needs it. Give him it all. Give him it all. Someone from my high school class just had a baby, and I found out because he posted it on Snapchat. Yeah. And immediately when you have a child, you can no longer be on Snapchat. You know, like write to Instagram or Facebook. Like you can do those, but get out of Snapchat, you know? Like, that's probably how they met, you know? He was probably like, hey, can I get you a snap? And now they have a kid. But like, what I would really like is to have a road named after me, right? But I think it'd be cooler if they named it before me, you know? So then I could see it, you know? I want to go to my own road. I want to go to my own road, and I want to sit down and play solitaire. A lot of people talk about gatekeeping stuff these days. I don't gatekeep anything, you know? But if I was gonna gatekeep something, gatekeep anything, it would be the location of my treasure. A lot of people ask me, they say, you have a treasure? I say, no. Gaslight. This is a true story. I'm gonna give you guys this one last story, and then I'm gonna go. Yeah. This is a true story about how I accidentally got addicted to nicotine as a joke in 8th grade. It's a true story. There's a local store down the street from us where I grew up called Ben Franklin's, and we'd all go in and steal candy. And behind the counter, they had cigarettes. But not behind the counter, but right next to the counter, they sold nicotine gum. And we were in there. You'll see where it's going. And they had nicotine gum. And I tell my friends, I say, guys, we should start chewing nicotine gum at school as a joke. And they weren't really for it. They were like, I don't get it, but I thought it was funny. I was committed. So I went and I looked at it, and they had 2 flavors. They had menthol and lemon, and I'm in 8th grade, so I didn't even know what menthol was. So I said, I guess I'll go lemon. So I go up to the thing. I go up to the counter, and I give the person the gum. I'm like, hey, I'd like to buy this. And they're like, you have to be 18 to buy this. And I'm like, why? 18 at the time, right? Not for me, though, because I just stole that. I said, I'll put it back right in my pocket. I was not going to give up on my bit. So I brought it to school. And I don't know if you guys remember gum in middle school. Big deal. Right when you're chewing one piece of gum, everyone's like, yo, can I get some gum? Right? That was my whole plan, is for people to ask me for gum. So, I'm in my first class, I take out my gum, and I start chewing it. And I don't know if you guys know about nicotine. I don't know how many of you have done it, but that's an energizing drug, man. And I already had ADHD, so I'm buzzing like a chainsaw in my first hour of class, focusing more than my aim. I'm just looking at the board, looking around, like, yeah. It's the best, worst headache I've ever had. This is a true story, guys. This is a true story. And then I start chewing my gum, and someone comes up to me finally, and they're like, yo, man, can I get a piece of gum? And I'm like, yeah, but it's lemon. And they're like, lemon? And I'm like, yeah, it's lemon nicotine gum. And they're like, why are you chewing nicotine gum? And I tell them, yeah, I've been smoking for like 25 years. I thought I should finally cut back for my health. And they're like, man, you're weird, but I'll try it. So, for those who wanted to try it, I was like, sure, man, it was fun. Guys, I was not understanding that there was nicotine in the gum. Looking back on it, I know I didn't know that. Looking back, that's a mistake. But yeah, man, people started asking me for gum. And I'm like, for sure. And I just start handing it out, giving to whoever asks. And I love to tell people, it's the greatest joke. Y'all laughed at it. Smoking 35 years, thought I quit. Great joke. But then things got real bad real quick. After I started giving stuff away, I was probably going through 2 packs a day. And it got bad when I got bored from the bit the first week, and then they came back over the weekend, and I was handing out my gum, and everyone's weekend that week, awful. Awful. Guys, the withdrawals that they had from this gum, I made people want to come to school. They were dying to come back so they could get some of my gum. And so, the weekend came, and I decided to get some more gum, it's for Monday, and I thought I might as well try menthol, It's just mint. No one tells you that. Why say menthol? That's just mint gum that has nicotine in it. Anyways, so the bit got old, as bits do, and I was like, how can I keep the stakes? So I asked my teacher. I say, Miss Jones, do you want a piece of gum? This is a true story. I say, Miss Jones, do you want a piece of gum? She says, no, I'm good. And I said, are you sure it's lemon? And she says, no, I'm good. And I was like, but Miss Jones, is lemon nicotine gum, it's the best. And she gets real stern real quick. And she goes, Keaton, why are you chewing nicotine gum? Well, I've been smoking for 25 plus years, thought I should cut back for my health. No laughs from her. She looks at me and she goes, Keaton, I never want to see this again. I don't want it, you don't want it, I never want to see it again. And I was like, dang. Rest of class. Fine, right? Next class, I get called down to the principal's office. It's okay. I get called down to the principal's office, and I go into a conference room, and there is the principal, the counselor, and for some reason, the school nurse. No, she chimes in. No worries, guys. She chimes in. But the principal and the counselor are like, Keaton, we heard you're using nicotine. And I'm like, okay, I have no idea really what that even means. And they're like, Keaton, are you aware that nicotine is an addictive chemical? And I'm like, I'm aware. I was for real. I didn't pull anything on him. I was for real. I was like, listen, this was a joke. I thought nicotine gum was just for people who wanted to quit smoking. You know, I was like, I didn't know that there was nicotine in it. And she goes, well, Keaton, your mom's on her way, and we're gonna have to tell her, and you're gonna have to stop chewing nicotine gum. And I said, okay, yeah, absolutely. They tell me all the health benefits. I'm like, yeah, I'm so sorry. And I looked at her and I was like, but what do I do about all my friends? When I had to tell the principal and the guidance counselor and the school nurse that I've been just giving people nicotine for free out of the kindness of my own heart. They were so mad. But I made it out fine, and that's all the time we have. I don't chew nicotine gum anymore, but I do smoke, so after the show you can find me by the door outside. Have a good night, thank you.